I'm going to share with you one of my most memorable and craziest stories on ayahuasca in the middle of the Amazon jungle in Peru. Now, if you're not familiar with what ayahuasca is, it's a master teacher plant that shamans have been using for thousands of years to heal people, create spiritual awakening, and it essentially gives you access to the higher intelligence within you so you can learn deep lessons about yourself and then bring them back to your life and integrate them. So back in 2018, I had this opportunity to go on a 10-day retreat to Peru to work with ayahuasca. Now, at the time, the trip was fully booked. There was no room for me. And I went to see a psychic about a month before the trip, and I said, listen, I really feel called to this trip. Can you tell me anything about it? And she said, Mike, you're going to get notification in 10 days that you're going to go on this trip. You're supposed to be there. It's God's will. And on day 10, to the day, I got a phone call list that the facilitator called me up. She said, Mike, somebody hurt their ankle, backed out of the trip. Now there's a spot for you. You're in. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to happen. So we go to Peru, and it took like forever just to get out to the jungle. I mean, van rides, like a 30-minute canoe ride, a hike through the jungle. We end up in like the middle of this compound where you stay in a little hut by yourself that's called a tambo. So each person is like spread out in their own hut, and all you have is a bed, a desk to journal at, a mosquito net, and a roll of toilet paper. And you're wide openly exposed to the elements. So it's just you in the jungle breathing on you and you and your thoughts. And every other day we did an ayahuasca ceremony at night. And this one particular night, I was super deep in my experience. And if you've ever done ayahuasca, you know that when you are on this medicine, your reality is completely distorted. Like you're very deep within yourself, within spirit, your senses are distorted. It is a psychedelic experience, and it can seem like time is moving very, very, very slow. So you usually do it sitting down in one place where you're safe, because it's even hard to stand up and move or walk sometimes. But I had to really, really pee on this one night. And I didn't feel like making the trek to the bathroom. I said, all right, I got to do this. So I got up, I started walking out to the bathroom, which is really just a hole in the ground that was maybe 100 feet away into the jungle outside the main Maloka. So what should normally take about, a minute to walk there felt like a 3-hour trek up a mountain. And when I finally made it, it was like, I felt like so relieved just to get there. That was like I was a champion just by doing that. So I lean over the hole, I start to relieve myself, and I couldn't see anything. Like, it's pitch black. Can't see what's in front of me. I'm hoping I'm hitting the hole right. I just have this tiny red light if I need to shine it somewhere. And as I'm going, I start to feel this warmth on my leg, and it starts tingling. So me being deep in my experience, I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. Spirit's working on me. Spirit must be healing something in my leg or moving some energy, right? I feel something cool. And then another minute later, it really starts to burn bad. And I'm like, uh-oh, something is wrong. So I shine the little light down, and there is an army of fire ants crawling up my leg fast, right? So there's nobody around, just me and my little light. I could barely tell what's going on, and I go into straight panic mode. Everything in my body wanted to scream and run the other direction and throw my hands up and call for help. But in that moment, this knowingness came over me. This message just entered me, and it said, Mike, stay calm. It said, you got this. Handle it. But stay calm. You know what to do. Use your resources. Use your breath. Use your presence. Be mindful. Take a look around. Assess the situation. And so that's what I did. While the pain was shooting up my leg, I very slowly, I sat down in a pile of mud on the side, and I started inspecting with a little red light, and each ant I could pluck off like one at a time with the water bottle. Every time my mind wanted to go crazy, I would stop, breathe, center myself, ground myself, remind myself that the situation is not as bad as I think it is. Although I feel like I'm being attacked, I'm not. Spirit and nature have my back, and they're supporting me as I go through this. And slowly but surely, I got every ant off. This was like a 20-minute experience, probably in real time, Probably seemed like a 2-hour experience at the minimum with my state of mind. But I came back after this with this new profound sense of confidence. Like, wow, I just handled that like deep in this medicine. And the lessons that you get from this plant are so profound that even though they might seem on a small level in a ceremony, they're actually like on a macro level, that if you bring them back to your life and you integrate them, they will carry with you for life and help you in all kind of situations. So my lesson from this experience was that I got it. I always got it. And that every time I feel panicked, I get to remember that every time a decision is made from the energy of panic, it only creates more chaos. So I trust that I always have the tools that I need, that I will do what is needed to handle whatever needs to be handled, as long as I slow down, ground myself, center, and remember the confidence that I got what it takes. So this has shown up in my life now as part of who I am. And it's always a reminder that when I feel fear or when I feel attacked, whether it's by people or a situation in mind, I remember the fire ants and I say, I got this, and I handle it so. Now, the magic of what actually happened in that moment is that my internal story was changed. Now, when I say story, we are always living a story that's unfolding within us. And our stories are made up of beliefs, perceptions, mostly beliefs that aren't even ours, that were just handed to us early in life from somebody else. And it's the way that we're programmed. And sometimes we get programmed to living out this story that's not actually true, but because it's the energy we're creating within us, then our life starts to look a very particular way that's not always so pleasant. And we might be like, how do I get out of this? Like, how do I create a shift in my life? Where do I start? Well, this internal dialogue and the things we believe, this story, is where it starts. And the first step is to become conscious of the story that you're telling yourself every day, and perhaps where it came from. The second step is to choose a new story, a story of supportive beliefs and dialogue that help you be open and create possibility in your life and attract what you actually want to call into your life. Because energy doesn't lie, and the energy we create within us attracts the same energy from the outside world. Like attracts like. So for instance, if we're always living in fear, then we will always create fearful situations in our reality, right? But when we change the story, and then the third step is to implement it with daily practice and certain tools. And as the story changes over time, we change who we are on the inside. And then our external reality reflects that. Life is an inside job. So, I am hosting a free event this coming Monday night, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time online via Zoom. And it's all about rewriting the story that you live by so you can create real results in your life. And in this free webinar, we are going to go through some tools, some questions, some ways that you can work with yourself to identify what you need, shift what you need, and then it shifts your life, the way you perceive yourself, the world, your confidence, the possibilities that come into you. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be engaging. And if this is calling to you, I'd love for you to go ahead and sign up. I'm going to post a link in the comments. You can go to my website, which is wakeupwithmike.com, and click a banner at the top that will take you there. Or click the link below and it will send you the Zoom link for that call. Now, here's the great news. You don't need to go to the Amazon jungle and work with fire ants to change your story, okay? We're going to do it with some tools that you can get started on now and use every day and create results quickly. So, like, what's up in your life? What kind of stories are you telling yourself, Do you worry a lot, or do you have more faith? Are you always experiencing fear, or is it confidence? Do you believe that you're capable, worthy, deserving of all that you say that you want? It's all a story. So let's get to it. Join me, and I really look forward to seeing you there. Have a beautiful day.